Live from Hollywood, California, VJ Vernon Husky, the Big Vanilla Funnies, Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
I'm blasting, outlasting, kinda like Shaft, so you can say I'm Shaft. Built my mind and I came up with a funky rhyme. I'm gonna knock you out. Mama said knock you out. I'm gonna knock you out.
Mama said knock you out. Like, that's what the New Jersey Nets the Brooklyn Nets are saying right now. I'm going to knock you out. Mama said knock you out. They talking to everybody in the Eastern Conference right now, man, including the Eastern Conference leader by only a half a game, the Philadelphia 76ers, man. Welcome, everybody, to VJ's on Sportsmanlike Conduct. I am your host, as always, VJ Vernon Husky, the Big Vanilla Funny. VJ, right? That's because he always think he is. Mr. 8515, the Blue-Eyed Barkley, the Creamy Kobe, the Big Vanilla Shaq. Y'all know how the nicknames. The Big Vanilla Color Card. Mr. VA's top talker, Mr. Never Shut Up, because I don't never shut up. I love to talk. Sometimes I talk to myself. I don't care. People look at me like, dude, who are you talking to? I'm like, talking to myself. Y'all don't want to talk? That's fine. I'm not going to sit here and be quiet. I am a talker. I love to talk. Great show for you guys lined up tonight, man, on Spreaker.com. We are not on YouTube. I apologize. For some reason, my audio will not pick up on YouTube. My mic just won't pick up. I don't know what I did wrong. Last night during the middle of the show, the mic cut off about an hour and a half into the show, and people were telling me, I tried to watch the show today, and I was trying to listen to your show, and on YouTube, the audio goes out. So I don't know what I did. My mic is hot. My mic is on, and so we're not on YouTube. I don't want to make a YouTube video of something that I can't be heard saying all the delicious, good sports stuff that I have for you guys tonight on VJ's on Sportsmanlike Conduct. So I am on IG right now, so I thank everybody that's tuning in on IG. And then always, of course, Spreaker.com and iHeartRadio. The NBA season right now belongs to, in my opinion, one team and one player. I understand that we, the media today and social media and fanboys and jock riders or whatever you want to call them are in love with Steph and LeBron, and mostly LeBron, and you either love or you hate the guy. I don't know a lot of people that's in the middle of him. You either like him or you don't. I don't know a lot of people that's in the middle. It's like Kobe. You either liked him or you did it. There's not a lot of people in the middle like, oh, I'm indifferent about Kobe, or I'm indifferent about LeBron. I'm indifferent about Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? It's like you either love those guys or you don't. I'm indifferent about Conor McGregor. You either love that Irishman or you hate him or you don't like him. You don't have to hate him, but you don't like him. You don't cheer for him. You're excited when he gets knocked out. You're happy that he came back from a long layoff, making all that money fighting Mayweather. But he got back in the cage and got beat, got knocked out. Like, that's just the way sports fandom goes. And that's what the NBA has turned into. The NBA has turned into a no defensive. Shaq said it last week. It's a bunch of pudding pops. It's a bunch of these guys today. Somebody gave me criticism back in the day. I took it. I worked at it. I worked hard at it. I went from smiling, playing around, to being serious and won championships and eating barbecue chicken. I got barbecue chicken. Give it to me. I'm going to eat that up. He said it best. It's pudding pop league, man. And it is. I've been saying it for about 6 or 7 years. I still watch the NBA, and I'm still a fan of certain players, and I like to watch certain players. I don't want to use the word fan, but I like to watch certain players still play. I like the game. I just wish they played a little more defense. I think they shoot way too many threes. And the way the game's covered is probably my biggest problem with the game itself. But because of the way the game is covered, it is translated to how the players play and act. Because they know they can read every comment about them. They can see all the good comments, all the bad comments. They can see all the trolls online. They can see the media that loves them and the media that questions them, or the media that always has something to try to find on the negative about them. But there's people in the media are human beings too. They're not robots. If they were robots, it'd be a different story. You can program them to say what you want them to say or write how you want them to write, and flat out, there you go. You can have it your way. You can be Burger King. But it's not Burger King. It's the NBA. These are real human beings. So the way the league is covered and the way the league is talked about, I think I have a bigger problem with that than I actually do with the league and the play itself, because I think one has cause and effect in another. The correlation between the two, media gets soft, or media don't want to offend the player because they want to have the access, and now it's cool if you're close to a player, if you're in the media or your sources say, I try to stay away from the S word. I have people that I trust. I don't know if they're sources. I just have people that I trust. And then I'll ask certain questions too, and a lot of things I try to go find myself. But there's never a first anybody. There's somebody always knows it's who puts it out or who's contracted with a network to be able to put it out first. So they can grow their following and grow their attention and grow their clicks and their likes and eventually grow their paycheck. Grow their position in the industry. It's just like anywhere else. There's nothing different about sports talk TV, radio, broadcasting media. It's all the same across the board with the rest. With the rest of the media. But we have a league that is dumped on certain guys like time and time again. And you ask yourself, why? What has he done? If you could say this one player that we gush over is a great husband and he's a great father and he's never been arrested and he's never been in trouble, that's what you're supposed to do. Like Chris Rock said, you low expectation having motherfuckers, like that's what you're gonna brag about that. That's what that guy is supposed to do, right? Isn't that what society says? Isn't that what society said what men are supposed to do? We are supposed to be good fathers, good husbands, work hard, have a good image, not get arrested. But we use those things to try to uplift athletes when we talk about them. That's corny to me. And then there's other guys that are that good father and good husband or whatever and good teammate and good person, never been arrested. We shit on them because we don't like their ideology. We don't like the way they look and we don't like the way they buck the system. In sports, if there's a player that's with the soft kiss ass giant player like in the NBA, LeBron's the giant soft kiss ass player, great player, but he's the leader of this put in pop ass era. He's the leader of it. 6'9", flop, taking charges, flopping all over the place, touching your nose and your head and looking around and looking to see if you're bleeding or laying on the floor. So, come on, bro. But you're dunking and you're flexing and you're screaming when your team is up. And like you can't play both sides of the field. A lot of people like to ignore that. I'm the sports journalist and the sports talk radio host. I look at that. I tell people all the time, I go where your actions take me. I go where your actions take me. Whether I'm a fan or not, or whether I like your play or not. The NBA is the worst at that, though, at trying to write narratives and false narratives and then start to vote on narratives, write on narratives, get on air and irresponsibly talk on narratives. Not fact, not situation, not the game itself, but talking on narrative. And I'm just not that guy. Last year, a certain journalist admitted that they vote on narrative for the league MVP. How the hell do you do that? It's supposed to be who's the most valuable player to their team that season. Not, if you take him off that team. Not if you just take him off that team. Who else is he making better? Are you guys talking about trading some of the bench players because they're not so-called producing? But isn't the superstar supposed to make that player better? I say all of that to wrap this around that the MVP for me right now in the NBA season, and honestly, it's not even close. People just don't want it to be, and I'll explain that in a second. Kyrie Irving. Let me repeat this. Kyrie Irving is the MVP right now in the 2020-2021 NBA season. And it's truly not even close. And let me explain. Kevin Durant, who a lot of people, including myself, think is the all-around best player in basketball. I know people wanted to be Kawhi because we wanted it to be Duncan at one point. And I think Kawhi kind of reminds us of Tim Duncan. But Tim Duncan was never the best player in the league. He won some MVPs and stuff. He was never the best player, though, in the league. You had Shaq. You had Big Ticket Garnett. You had Kobe. You had AI. You had T-Mac. Like, the league was loaded. Loaded. Even with teams right now. I was looking at Sacramento's record the other day, and I'm like, God, I remember a time where Sacramento was penciled into the quarterfinals at least and possibly to the conference finals. And they did that back-to-back years against the Lakers. They went to the conference finals. They were a good basketball team. I look at them now and I'm just like, God, how the league flipped, man. And coverage and the way we talk about players and stuff has also flipped too. Kyrie Irving is leading the Nets team, who's won 9 of their last 10 games. Like, honestly, guys, look in your rearview mirror, that car speeding up real fast, that all black on black Lambo pulling up, that's the Brooklyn Nets. Philadelphia is driving right now. Philly was chilling. Philly had a blunt lit. Philly had a glass of yak. Philly had a fine lady, a fine Nubian queen in his passenger seat, and all was good. And then all of a sudden, They get James Harden, Brooklyn. Kyrie sees what happened on Capitol Hill, and Kyrie's like, you know what? I'm not doing this. You owner said you were going to do something. You're not doing it, and I'm still seeing shit like this. I'm out. Yeah, I'll put it on some family stuff or some personal stuff, but I'm hurt over this because I tried to tell you guys last year, don't go to the bubble. They'll let you put names on the back of jerseys and let you say names in press conferences, but then they said you couldn't put certain stuff on your jersey, but then they wanted to put Black Lives Matter on the court, but you weren't really allowed to say Black Lives Matter in none of your interviews or anything like that. You could talk about the movement, talk about social injustice. It's like, nah, man, we tired of being killed because we niggas. Like, say what it is. Keep it a buck. We're tired of being killed because we niggas. But you can't say that. So we're going to be this social justice league. And, next season, though, yeah, we're taking Black Lives Matter off the court. Oh, yeah, by the way, you can't put all that stuff on the back of your jersey this season or anything. And then we watch the election happen. And then we watch January 6th happen. And it's like, I think Kyrie is truly one of those guys that looks at that and goes, yo, this is all cool. This NBA shit, but this is not right. And I don't feel this right now. I'm out. Kyrie was told by a lot of big-time sports writers he should retire. He should retire is all I'm saying. I'm saying he's done. He's done. Kyrie Irving is done. He should retire. He should pay back the Nets all that money. Oh, man, shut up. And nobody had talked to him. But everybody wanted to get on TV and run their mouth about him. And I've been tweeting all the way along. Y'all owe this man an apology. Because I think on the ideology kind of and buck your system like Kyrie does. He gets teased a lot on sports talk radio. I'm not listening to a guy who thinks the earth is flat. Well, I mean, shit, it might be. But you guys are so sold into all the photos and all the lies and all the photos and all the videos and all the stuff that they show us what Earth looks like. You know, you get astronauts that go up there, but why don't these astronauts ever do like interviews and why aren't these astronauts, why do they have like, why aren't they famous? Why aren't astronauts famous? You gone where no man can go, like the average man will never go. Less than 1% will ever go to space. How the fuck we don't know who you are? How the fuck we don't know, like, that's such and such or that's such and such? All we kind of know is people that have blown up and died in space shuttles and the guys that walked on the moon. And there's always been, like, this theory that didn't happen. But whatever. But I am the guy that goes, yeah, there's some video, but I ain't been up there. You know what I'm saying? I had, like, that real black man, I was like, I don't know. I ain't been there. I don't know. I haven't gone all the way around the earth. I just know the pictures that they've shown us over lifetime. It's called programming for a reason, guys. Kyrie's that guy. And Kyrie also, too, Kyrie gets a lot of hate because he bucks not only the system and the ideology of most people in the NBA. Kyrie bucks, I'm not going to kiss ass to your precious golden boy, LeBron. And I don't care what people say. You could call it LeBron hating or whatever, blah, blah, blah. There were a lot of things that happened there. Kyrie finally said, you know what? I'm cool. I got a championship, and I've had a big part in this championship. I hit the game winner. The game where to extend the series where you have 42, I have 40. I got mine too. And I locked that, and I balled against Steph Curry too. I did my job too. So I got a ring in Cleveland, just like you got a ring in Cleveland. I think Kyrie really feels that way, especially after once they win it. It's, well, LeBron won a ring for Cleveland. Well, no, him, Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving. Kyrie wasn't just along for the ride, but that's how people talk about Kyrie Irving, as if he was just along for the ride. There was an incident in an interview where Kyrie was asked by a reporter about LeBron being a father figure to him. Kyrie looked at that guy like, he's like, nah, I have a father. He does. He's got a father that's in his life. His mom passed away. A father that's in his life that played in the league. But it came off a comment earlier with LeBron. I'm kind of like a father figure, to these guys. Like, bro, what? And Kyrie was like, bro, get the fuck. Like, that's lame, man. I'm not fucking, like, when I want to get out of here, I want to get the fuck away from me. Kyrie was the guy who wants to get the fuck away from LeBron, and everybody killed him for it. Everybody killed him for it because you either like him or you dislike LeBron. And if you like him, anything that goes against him, we shit on. You can't just have an opinion anymore in sports. Sports coverage, sports, but you can't have an opinion anymore. You just can't think differently. It's got to be what we're all on this train or you're a hater. The word hater has killed sports talk radio. It's killed sports talk television. Clickbait, social media, all this shit is killing the industry. That's why Vesson, we're trying to save it. I'm trying to be a piece of the puzzle that saves this industry. because there's guys with platforms who've never played. And they have a degree, and they talk really quirky, and they have this way of using this vocabulary and stringing these words together. And it impresses middle-aged and old white men who are in charge and positions of power, and old white men who own the networks. It impresses them because they speak this way and this or that. But the shit they say is lame and corny. It's all the same. But when you look at a guy like Kyrie, the media, he didn't want to be next to LeBron anymore, and people shitted on him. And it's almost like, no, just trust me, just watch. Kawhi Leonard said no thank you in free agency. Paul George said no thank you in free agency. 2 top-flight NBA players who could have went to LA and could have played there. Anthony Davis is only there because he fired his agent, so they made him fire his agent so he can hire Rich Paul and then go back and pout and act like you don't want to be there, sit on the bed. Look, as disgusting. Have you ever seen a player who just came off of a season where they swept a team in the first round, who was a higher seed, and then you get beat by the Warriors, who are 2-time, 3-time champions at that point. You get beat by the Warriors in the second round. There's no shame to that. But they had such a phenomenal playoff run and such a surprise season. He went from everything's looking up, and then all of a sudden this soak and this look and him chewing the gum on the bench during the games and looking like this and rolling, such a front, and honestly, LeBron spearheaded that because he runs Clutch Sports. Clutch Sports is Rich Paul's the agent there. No, you're gonna be Rich Paul's client, and then we'll get you to the Lakers. Like that shit like that kills the league. Kyrie is a guy who saw shit like that. It was like, nah, I don't want to part of this. I'm out. Went to Boston. Everything was supposed to be Kyrie's fault in Boston. Teammates don't like him. Teammates this, teammates that. Did you see the last 2 times he played Boston? Not only do they all come and hug him and dap him, you can see guys talking and laughing, pregame and doing warm-ups and videos that people put online. Then Kyrie goes out and he has torched them the last 2 times he's played Boston. He had 40 tonight. And I know James Harden is on this team. And I know James Harden is 25, 8, and 11 right now. I know that. But he's also 25, 8, and 11. A lot of that is because you play with Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is the guy who's going to make all this. Honestly, I don't think that just Durant and Harden would win a championship. I really don't. Kyrie's a killer. Kyrie's got that Kobe in him. Kyrie wants to go at you like. It's funny to me how a lot of people think him and LeBron are cool. They're really not. Trust me, I have people I really trust that have told me that. No, they're not. He's gonna. Yeah, you want to dap me up? All right, cool. We'll dap me up. But last time they played, when the Nets came out here and beat the Lakers, and he put LeBron on skates, there was an angle on the camera that caught him in replay where he kind of looked at him and gave him a look like, yeah, like he likes going at that guy. It's like, this is the guy that you guys all shitted on me just because I wanted to get away from this guy. I don't carry guns. I haven't been pulled over. I haven't been arrested. You haven't caught me cheating on my wife. You haven't seen me be a bad father. You haven't seen me do all the things that you praise other players in the league. Plus, I'm really aware social consciously. I walked away from the game. This guy does talk a good game, spends a lot of money, does a lot of things for charity stuff, but he would never walk away. He would never walk away because he's owned by Nike. Now, you still got to go play. I told Nike, fuck you, I'm taking a break. The Nets, yeah, I'll holler at y'all. The Nets haven't talked to Kyrie. No, they haven't. So why the hell are all y'all sitting on TV and radio shitting on him? And all he is doing, Kyrie never won nothing without LeBron. Kyrie never did this or never did that. All he's doing right now is dropping 27, 6, and 5. And like I said, the Philadelphia 76ers were cruising on the 405. They had a cup of yak. A pretty voluptuous lady with a little cleavage showing through the shirt, through the top of the shirt. Y'all know what I'm talking about. With the seat leaned back, had a nice joint going. Some nice Mary Jane from the cool essays he know out here, from the cool amigos he know out here. And everything was cool, and they made that trade. Kyrie came back, and it's like that black on black Lambo speeding up real fast. Yeah, that's the Brooklyn Nets. Who's driving? Kyrie Irving's driving. Durant's only played 18 games, man. This is strategic. Durant's played 18 games. In 18 games, he's averaging 30. So they already know you can just bring Durant and insert Durant. He's the best player in the league, and he D's up now. And he's 8 boards a game. 6 assists a game. What's Durant at right now? 7 boards, 5 dimes. 30 points a game in 18 games. But it's like, nah, we'll rest this hamstring. Durant's got a hamstring. We're going to rest this hamstring. And we're going to let Kyrie and Harden kind of figure this out. And they're smashing teams. This narrative, they don't play defense. Dog, that was a month and a half, 2 months ago. Let that go. They're 9-1 in their last 10 games. They're D'ing up somebody. That defensive, that points per game has come down 11 points. Since they've been on this run that they've been on, their points per game on defense given up per game has come down 11 points. That's a lot of difference in wins and losses. That's why they're 9-1 right now. The MVP in the league, and I love Steph Curry. Steph Curry is a vanilla bro. Y'all know I'm the president of the Vanilla Brothers Coalition of America for light-skinned men and women of the African-American persuasion. Whether you want to call us black or negroids or negroes. Y'all know when Prince died, Prince's spirit spoke to me. VJ, I need you to take over. I was like, I got you, Purple Rain. First thing they told me to do is we had to kick Drake out. Second thing they told me to do is we had to get Chris Brown back in. He did his time. What he did wasn't right. We get it, but, we got to forgive people. Everybody ain't perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. I don't like perfect celebrities. I don't. The celebrity you don't know, he's so perfect. No. He got mad skeletons. There's no such thing as perfect. He got mad skeletons. There's a lot in his closet. He's just so good at covering it and the power of covering it. And then people are in love with him. So they're going to gloss it over. Anyway, there was a guy who was like that. Let me think who he was. Oh, yeah. He was just a former president of the United States the last 4 years. How many skeletons that guy got? And 72 million people still voted for him. And he still, and they were still denied that any of that shit's true. I don't trust that. Politician, athlete, I don't trust that. But there are so many things that people shit on Kyrie for. And there's so many things that the things you shit on him for, you praise other players. He's the MVP. I love Steph. But Steph, honestly, he's got his team. And I know he didn't have a lot of help. But they got to win some of these close games. Going into the All-Star break, they finished 1-4. And I watched 3 of those games. The 3 I watched, they should have won. And they didn't win any of the 3. They should have won those games, and they just gave them up in the clutch. They don't have enough, and I get that. He can't be MVP this year. And I may have flirted with Steph as the MVP over the last, maybe the first, I guess. It was about a 3.5 week to a month run where I'm like, hey, man, Steph is doing something we've never seen before. Dropping 30 a night at a 90, 50, 40 clip. And you can't hate on that. You just can't. There's no way you can. But then when they don't win games, they're not going to give an MVP to a 7 seed, guy on a 7 seed, 6 seed team. It's just not going to happen. Especially a guy that gets hated on by the media and sports media for their love of LeBron more than Steph, and social media too, more than Steph Curry does. There's nobody else more than him and LeBron. That's why it was so weird to watch them two play together. I was like, they're in the Western Conference, so they were going to play together anyway. But he picked them, so it was like, like my little brother type. LeBron wants to be everybody's friend. And Kyrie was like, I want to be your friend. I want to be your little brother. And you're damn sure not a father figure to me. I got a father. You're not a father figure to me. And right now, if they were to play the Lakers in the playoffs, they'd beat them in 5 or 6 games. Full tilt. Durant owns LeBron. We know that now. It's been proven. I don't care if he's with Golden State. LeBron wanted no part of guarding him. In the clutch in any of those games, he wanted no part of guarding Durantula. PG County's finest. Straight from Montrose Christian Academy and the DMV. DC Assault AAU team of DC. He wanted no parts of Kevin Durant. And not a lot of people do. He's the difference maker, but Kyrie stirs that drink. And right now, the fact that he's helping making everybody better, and he is picked up his defense and has them right now at 25-13, half a game behind the Philadelphia 76ers. And listen, I never believed in Philly anyway because Doc Rivers is their coach. And I know Doc likes to talk, and everybody loves Doc, and Doc's a great guy. I get that. But Doc also doesn't win. Doc Rivers doesn't win. What has he won? Last year was just was just a fumble, bumble, blunder, flunder, like any fuck up, anything you could call last year is what it was. Might have been fluke. If somebody goes, man, that was a fluke. Okay, cool. It might have been. Oh, man, they choked. Cool. Maybe they did. Man, they fumbled that. They fumbled that season, like postseason last year. Yeah, probably so. But I never believed in Philly. Embiid's playing great. Simmons is playing great. Tobias is playing great. That's not better than the Nets. That's not better than what the Nets bring to the table, led by Kyrie Irving. So that's my MVP right now, Kyrie Irving. I want to move over to football real quick, talk about Dak Prescott and this contract with the Dallas Cowboys. 4 years, $160 million, $40 million a year. 126 guaranteed. He'll make $75 million just next year alone. Jerry Jones lost this in a who won, who lost. Who won is Dak, of course. Who lost is Jerry, because Jerry could have got about $50 to $70 million cheaper if he'd have done this 2 years ago. But no, you were worried about your running back that ran off the Cabo that's very not self-aware. It's going to get himself in trouble. Like, just a lot of little things. Not a big thing to get him arrested or anything, but just questioned by the police and questioned by this and pulling up the girl's bikini top on the top of the platform at the boat or something, or some at the beach on the pier, some shit like that. Just like that's borderline sexual assault. You know what I'm saying? If I get the atmosphere, I get it's fun, I get what's going on, but if she wanted to cry foul and cry sexual assault, she could have. Now most people are gonna be like, all right, dude, look, young guy, multimillionaire in the NFL, pulled up a girl's. But it's still, in today's world, maybe in 85 and like 90, 91, that would be like, she can still be mad, but she's not going to go cry foul. Seriously. Nowadays, that might be 2 years in jail. Like, it's pudding pop, man. This is like Shaq said, it's pudding pops. It's the Bill Cosby era. And I'm not talking about drugging women, nothing like that. Just pudding pops, jello. The society is jello. That's what it is. Me and Kobe, D-Fish, Red Fox, Big Shaq Bob, the others, those guys. It was different. It was tough. It was hard. It was hard to beat us. It was good. It was tough. These days today, they don't have that. Pudding pops, jello. Like, the league is just soft. Sports is soft. Society is soft. Anyway, Dak Prescott with Ezekiel Elliott at running back. You do have CeeDee Lamb. They have Cooper at receiver. They have offensive weapons on the paper you would look at and go, okay, Dallas is going to be good. Dallas got their quarterback, signed their guy. Jerry Jones waited too long to do it, but hey, you got your guy. That's a still questionable defense. You still got to figure out the offensive line, because that's not the same line that Zeke came into the NFL with. That's a different line. One of those guys are retired. Two of them can't stay healthy. They've shuffled that line. Last year, Zeke that went for 1,000 yards. He led the league in fumbles. It wasn't Dak. Dak was doing his job. That's another reason why Dak got the money. Dak went out. Their scoring went down 15.8 points. The yards per game went down, I think, like 210, 220. They were throwing up crazy numbers. Dak was throwing for 400 yards a Sunday. I think 500 yards one of those games. Did Dak throw for 500 yards one of those games? I'm not. I would have to go back and check. But I tell you this, he's going to be one of the first quarterbacks taken in fantasy, because Dak can move. Dak's got weapons. But I want to know, where do the Dallas Cowboys stack up against the rest of the NFC East, a division that I grew up around in the DMV all my life, so I know this division very, very well. I know the history of this division very, very well. Very well. Washington football team, they have a great defense. That defense is good. Chase Young looks like he might have been the right pick coming out of Ohio State from DeMatha out of Hyattsville, Maryland, from the DMV. That defense is super solid. They keep Heineke, signed Heineke. They let Alex Smith go. They agreed to part ways with each other. That's fine. But that defense is they're gonna put up a fight against that offense. If they get a quarterback there, they could cause some problems for Dallas defense if they don't address the defensive side. Dallas has the number 10th pick in this coming up draft in Cleveland, Ohio, and I just feel Jerry Jones is gonna go for the superstar name. Kwity Paye, I believe, a DN rush guy, best DN rush guy from all the scouting reports in this draft out of Michigan, I think will be sitting right there for them at number 10 and will come in right away. You can move him up and down the line. He could play the run. He could pass rush. There's plays where he's dropped in coverage. He had a couple of interceptions at Michigan. Like, it's sitting right there for you at number 10. Now, for Dallas, I really do think that that guy will be available for them, but I think Jerry Jones will go for the star pick. I don't see the Jags taking him. The bum-ass Jets won't take him. The Dolphins won't take him at number 3. The Falcons won't take him at number 4. Cincinnati Bengals, they at number 5. They've got to get Joe Burrow some help there. I like Kyle Pitts at that pick. Philly at number 6. They have Jalen Hurts. Got to get him some help at receiver. Yeah, receivers last year coming off the practice squad, walking across the field to suit up and practice with the first team offense just to be able to run some plays of the offense. You have to address receiver, correct? Devontae Smith is sitting right there. Everybody wants to replace the Niners quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. He had a bad year. He got hurt. You were just in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Don't blow it all up right now. Give it another year. Plus, if he plays well, then you know you're good for at least the next 2 years. And if something happens, you got JT Daniels coming out of college then. You have Bryce Young coming out of Alabama. You have DJ Uiagalelei coming out of Clemson. You have Hal coming out of North Carolina. You have McNamara coming out of Michigan. Yeah, Florida's quarterback. You'll have Spencer Rattler coming out of Oklahoma. Like there's quarterbacks to be had in the future. You don't have to replace that right now. I think Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle at Northwestern, right there for 49ers. Right there. Perfect pick all the way around. Northwestern, so you know he's smart. So you can get your playbook. He's going to focus. He's not out ripping and running. Team captain, 2-year starter. He's got to block Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan State. A tough Iowa team that loves to run the football, and they always have really good defensive linemen and linebackers too. That blitz, you got to block that. Play for a really good team. Play for a really tough-minded coach in Pat Fitzgerald. There's another first-round pick. They got a corner people think are going to go in the first round. This has been a while since Northwestern have had 2 or 3 guys people think are a top 2-round NFL draft pick. That's a perfect pick for them right there. You're going to take a Northwestern smart brainiac kid and put him in tech country up there at beautiful Santa Clara, California, that new Levi Stadium. Oh, man. That's a great pick for the Niners right there. Don't replace your quarterback. You got Deebo Samuel there at the offense. You got a few running backs. You can figure a running back position out in the 2nd, 3rd round. Don't have to be right there. Not at pick number 9. Pick number 7. Then you have the Panthers at number 8, the Broncos at number 9. The Panthers and Broncos both need a quarterback. They're not going to take Kwity Paye. Dallas sitting right at 10. That's where Kwity Paye should go. But I have a feeling Jalen Waddle might still be available. Jamar Chase could still be available. Devontae Smith could still be available. Kyle Pitts could still be available. And he will try to overload that offense and get Dak as many weapons as possible. And maybe their thing is, hey, for the next few years, let's just see if we can outscore people. If we can average 39, 40 points a game, then our defense, we can MacGyver and bubblegum foil and mask and duct tape together our defense enough to get to a conference championship game, and then from there just put it in Dak's hands, put it in Zeke's hands out the backfield. You have these 4 guys at the receiver position you can get the ball off to, and let's go see what happens. See if we can get to a Super Bowl. That's really a solid plan, to be honest with you. It's not a plan that I think wouldn't work. But Dallas does have to replace that defense, and I do believe Washington's defense has enough firepower to give Dallas offense some problems if they were to take field as suited. Also, I think that's the same thing with the New York Giants. They have a really good defense led by Jabril Peppers from Michigan, who is their do everything safety and kind of rover nickelback now, who just does everything for them. Plays the run, plays the pass, and he's a punt returner. Sacks, interceptions. Like he won a few games. He closed out a few games with some picks last year, late in the year when they were still fighting for a playoff position. If you can get a line together with the Giants, Daniel Jones might be your quarterback. You still have Saquon. You still have Shepard. Now they did just release Golden Tate. But you have a young big tight end that you really like there. The defense is great. It's New York. The Giants or the Jets. Somebody should be good in that stadium. That beautiful I've been in MetLife Stadium. It's gorgeous. It's New York City. Somebody's got to be good there in the fall. There's no college football in the area. So the Jets or the Giants got to be good for that city, man, for it to feel good about it being the leaves turning colors and the weather getting a little colder and the snow rolling in and that frigid northeastern New York winter sets in, you got to have football good to go with that. And the Giants could be that team. They could be a team that could give Dallas some problems, even with Dak in a new contract and all these weapons. And then you look at the Philadelphia Eagles. They have Jalen Hurts. There's their franchise quarterback. The owner has come out and said that he wants everything pushed towards Jalen Hurts, get him help, address everything to steer the ship straight for Jalen Hurts. The owner, the GM, everybody's come out there. This is our guy. Wentz is gone. Here we go. You got to get him help. And if you get him some help, they're going to be a team that can match Dallas. I think Jalen Hurts can be Dak Prescott. He could be Dak Prescott. Second, third round pick, even though Dak's a fourth. Second, third round pick, backup. Starter gets hurt. You get thrown in. And next thing you know, it's like, oh my God, we got something here. Well, we can let that guy go. And that's what they did with Wentz. And they drafted Wentz, number 2 or number 3 overall? Goff went 1, Wentz went 2, I believe. And here we are. 4 or 5 years later, both those quarterbacks are on different football teams. And what makes the Philly situation just so odd is they just won a Super Bowl 3-4 years ago. That should buy you some time. They've already traded the quarterback to back up that won the game, let him go on free agency, and they fired the head coach. That's insane to me. Super Bowl buys me 5-6 years, dude. I want us the Super Bowl. It's the biggest trophy in team sports. And you only need 1. That's why it's so impressive when guys have 2 and 3, let alone 7. When guys got 7 Super Bowls, dude, that's like 20 wives and they all know about each other and everybody's cool. Like, that's the jackpot. Like, are you kidding me? 20 wives? Everybody know about each other? And it's good money? Oh, wow. Yeah, sign me the fuck up. Sign me up. 7 Super Bowls? Sign me up. Are you kidding me? Playing till I'm 43, 44, 45 years old? Yeah. Write that down. I'll take that all day. And the Eagles have hit the reset button. Jalen Hurts, their guy. Got to get him some help. Got to get him running back, receivers. Defense was hit and miss, but they were injured badly. No one was more injured than Philly last year. Could they be the team this year we blink, it's week 10. Philly's sitting at 6-3, 7-2. Jalen Hurts he's the new name we're talking about every morning on the radio and on television. Is what Jalen Hurts doing in Philly. So this Dallas thing, I don't think is a lock. I'm happy Dak got his money. I always want the black quarterback to get their money. I always root and cheer for the black quarterback. So therefore, I'm glad he got it. And I was on Chris Broussard's radio show. I believe it was over 2 years ago, and I said he'll get $40 million. He wants $40 million, and he'll get it, and they should pay him. The question was, should they pay him? Yeah, they should pay him. Chris Broussard said that he should take less money. I hit again on that one too, man. Sorry, guys. I just be hitting, man. It is what it is. You don't have to respect it, but you definitely got to deal with it. Also, some other quarterbacks I want to talk about real quick too, where they could end up. These guys, I think, also are going to help tilt the draft. And I think there's a lot here to be said for veteran presence. 2 of these guys are veteran. Cam Newton, Alex Smith. The teams I got for Cam Newton are Washington, Denver, and dare I say, Carolina. I would even throw Chicago in there, but I have Chicago at number 1 for Alex Smith because of his relationship with Nagy, and he already knows the system, and they franchise Robinson. So he's got a big-time number 1 receiver there, and he's got a stout defense. He won't turn the ball over. He's a veteran. He'll win you 7 games by himself, and the defense will win you 3, and that's a 10-6 Bears team. You sign Alex Smith, I'll go out on a limb and say the Bears are 10-16. You also have Sam Darnold with the Jets. What happens with Sam Darnold? The Jets hold the key, in my opinion, to shake up the entire draft. It's not the Dolphins and the Deshaun Watson stories. I think it's really the Jets because if Sam Darnold's their guy, you take best player on the board, and that's going to be probably Penei Sewell. And you think, all right, we'll give Donald another year. If we do decide to go quarterback next year or try to get a guy in free agency next year or something to that effect, at least we know we got this left tackle just locked down. Only sophomore to ever win the Outland Award. The Outland Award goes to the best offensive lineman in all of college football Penei Sewell is the only kid to ever win it as a sophomore in college. Opted out this year from COVID, said my stock is high, which it is right now. People are talking about him in the top 5. It's a lot of money for a young kid who didn't even play last year. Opted out for COVID at Oregon, didn't play this year, just worked out and got prepared for the draft. But you go put the tape on, and I'll admit, I don't like tape from 2 years ago, but if you go to put the tape on, and in the run game and the pass protection game for Oregon, he sticks out. He immediately jumps off the screen when the ball is snapped. His explosiveness with his hands, his punch, the way he mauls guys and finish off blocks, he's good. But if your team needs other things, I don't know if you, in today's NFL, if you need the top left tackle, I think you can have a collective, really good line, and you won't have to pay the big time left tackle if you have a great collective, just nose to the grindstone, Big 10, Big 12 type offensive line. You know, guys from Iowa, Northwestern, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio State, Texas A&M, Oklahoma. Go look at where the best linemen in the league are coming from. SEC gets a lot of skill guys, man. There's a lot of speed. You can run and do a lot of stuff there and all year round because it's not that cold. It doesn't snow. But Midwest, Big 10, Big 12, big, rough, rugged, cornbread, corn on the cob, big steaks, big burgers, bales. You think of bales lifting bales of hay and shit like that. That get them thick necks going. And those guys are bred to play offensive line. You get a collective unit of 5 of those guys on the line, you might not need the $60, $70 million left tackle. It's been done before in the league is all I'm saying. But you have Penei Sewell there. If you're the Jets and you decide to keep Darnold. But if you trade Darnold, now are you looking at a quarterback? Because then now Justin Fields is there. Does somebody try to jump up to Miami and ask Miami to come back to 8 or 9? Panthers, Broncos, who both need a quarterback. Teddy B's not the guy in Carolina. Teddy B's not the guy, and I like Teddy B, but you're not winning the Super Bowl with him. You're not winning a playoff game with him. I just don't think he's that good. I got to see different. If I see different, then I'll react differently. But from what I've seen, he's not going to win your Super Bowl. And if you're trying to win the Super Bowl, you gotta try to go get your guy that you think can win you a bowl. I think Justin Fields can get you to a conference championship game. Big arm, 6'3", 220, 225. He gets to the league at 220. He can put on 5-6 pounds of muscle for just the wear and tear on your body. And 225, 226, 227. That's a big quarterback. That's a nice-sized quarterback. Can make all the throws, accurate, heady, has high football IQ. He was at Georgia, man. Like he left Georgia. He left Georgia because he wasn't going to start there. You know what I'm saying? So he was a guy that was recruited by every big school, and he was going to be in the SEC, that many call the best conference in college football. And then he decided to transfer and ended up at Ohio State. And all he does is take them to the college playoffs. I mean, he plays great with broken ribs winning the game. Plays the national championship, gets to the national championship game. So, I'm looking at what they're doing there. If they also think to trade out of that spot, you stay with Darnold and you trade and you get another first-round pick from somebody, Pittsburgh. Do they look at Darnold and say, okay, he may be the predecessor to Big Ben. Let's get him in now. We know Big Ben's going to play this year. And Big Ben can mentor this guy and get him ready for the future. The Niners. Once again, I still have the Niners taking Slater out of Northwestern, but I still think that if they're going to go for a quarterback, I don't know if you want to try to move up to draft a guy. You can stay where you are in the draft right now. If you're the Niners, you can stay where you are at 7 and just trade for Darnold. And then at 7, add Jamar Chase or Jalen Waddle or Najee Harris if you want to go that high for a running back and put him with Darnold right away. You got a young guy there. You still got Garoppolo. You got Darnold in case you decide to move Garoppolo. And you still have your number 7 pick, plus you picked up another first round. The Jets would have picked up the other first round pick, but you get another young star quarterback, and you still get your 7th pick. And then Seattle. If Russell Wilson is done in Seattle, Sam Darnold, Cam Newton, Alex Smith, any of those guys, honestly, depending upon what are you looking to do. That is more of a veteran team. Sam Darnold might be too young for that. But Cam Newton going up there, Alex Smith going up there, I know the Bears are pushing hard for Russell Wilson, and I think Seattle is overly asking for the farm because I don't think they really want to trade Russell Wilson. I don't think Russell really wants to leave there. I think it's a diva fighting a franchise, and a franchise knowing they're fighting a diva, but he's likable and he's not unapologetically black, so he'll get a pass for the way he's going about all this get up and storm. Could you imagine if Michael Vick, before all the dogs fighting scandal, if Michael Vick got up and stormed out of an office in a meeting with Arthur Blank and the offensive brass there because he wanted more decision-making power, he would get crushed. He would have gotten crushed. But with Russell Wilson, because he's married to Sierra and he kind of looks, he's not, like I said, I'll just say it like this. He's not unapologetically black. And in sports, that will normally help you out when it comes to the white community. That's just the fact. It's just the way it is. But Seattle could be in play for a quarterback this offseason. Are they in the sweepstakes for Deshaun Watson? How would you like that trade right there? If Seattle just traded Russell Wilson to Houston for Deshaun Watson straight up. I'm sure Houston would be like, okay, great. Seattle will probably have to give up some first-round picks, too. They're not just going to give up Deshaun Watson for one player. Seattle's not. Somebody asked me, what would you give up for Deshaun? What would you be asking for Deshaun? I said 3 firsts and a second. 3 firsts and a second. The guy was like, no, you can't move him. There's no price. I said, yes, there is, man. If a player don't want to be there, you move him. I'm big on that. If a player doesn't want to be there, you move him. It's just like dating. If you don't want to date me and you don't want to be with me, bye-bye. Bye-bye. I love me too much. I love me too much to worry about somebody who don't want me. I don't want nobody, like my mama say, man, I don't want nobody who don't want me. Bye-bye. Peace. And is pace with no hard feelings. It's just straight up on some pace. Deuces. I remember that joke. I'm gonna push it for the birds. You ain't nothing but a, what he say? You ain't nothing but a vulture. Ow. Always waiting for the worst. Waiting for me to fuck up. I love that song. Oh my God, I love Deuces. Deuces is my shit. This is about time fellas came out with a diss track back to these ladies, man. Something else about the draft too. Some other quarterbacks that come to mind are like the guys coming out of college: Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson. I'm still trying to figure like Zach Wilson out. Like I don't understand what the big hype is. He hasn't played enough football for me, and that's also like Trey Lance. He just hasn't played enough football. I see in some mock drafts people have like Atlanta taking a quarterback, and in my head I don't know if that's feasible or even a smart thing for Atlanta to do. Matt Ryan is still a 4,300 yard, 4,400 yard quarterback, 30 plus touchdowns. You still have Julio. You have Calvin Ridley. You got to replace the defense and fix the defense up. You got a new coach in now. What's going to be the new system? Is it a new system, or is he going to let Matt Ryan kind of just do his thing and do what Matt Ryan does? They've been successful. The team hasn't been successful. The defense sucked last year. The offense was scoring points. The defense couldn't stop anybody. That was the problem. That was the problem in Atlanta last year. So, number 4, I think you go offensive. If Penei Sewell falls to them, I think you go Penei Sewell. Go ahead and lock down that left side. And then when you decide to move on to a different quarterback in a year or two, your left tackle's in his second, third year. He's blessed. He's blessed into the league. Your rookie quarterback now comes into the league with somebody who could protect him. That's very rare. Cincinnati, another quarterback situation. Joe Burrow's hurt. He comes back. Got to get him a weapon. I think Kyle Pitts I think Kyle Pitts is a great pick right there because he's going to shoot up boards once he runs, once he does his pro day, once he does the combine. He's going to shoot up everybody's board. When you see him in person, it's going to be like, oh, God, yeah. Philly at 6, like I said before already. Even down to the Patriots at 15, another intriguing quarterback situation. A lot of people like Matt Jones there. I think if Kwity Paye falls that far, That's definitely a Belichick guy right there. That's a Belichick guy right there in Kwity Paye. And you put him with Chase Winovich, who was at Michigan also, who's also there now, and becoming their best and stud linebacker. Two guys that played together 2 years ago in Michigan, know each other, could play off of each other. And you got two young guys right there in the Patriots for the next 6 or 7 years that will rush the passer and stop the run. Najee Harris is a very interesting player, and I talked about the Jags on the show yesterday because I think we're gloss over them because we know they're taking Trevor Lawrence, and number one, nobody's talking about the Jags and the fact that Urban Meyer's now there, and that they also have the 25th pick. They don't have just the first; they got the 25th too. If people get scared off, are people still scared off by running backs in the first round? But until at least late after 20, Najee Harris could be sitting right there for Jacksonville. You get your franchise quarterback first year in, Trevor Lawrence. You get your franchise running back first year, right off the back, and Najee Harris. And then maybe you could build something there in Jacksonville. It's just Jacksonville, though. I'll just never believe in it. Even the 1 year they had where they went and they beat the shit out of Pittsburgh in the wild card, in the divisional round, and got to the conference championship game. They just will still always be, to me, and it just, I can't get over it, will be they're the Jacksonville Jaguars. And that alone just makes me just go, oh my God, they're Jacksonville, right? It's like, who the hell? Nobody thinks they're gonna ever really truly be good, right? I mean, that's the way that I look at that. I think they can fix a lot of things, though. I think they can fix a lot of things if they take a running back or take another position player at 25. I know a lot of people probably like a lineman right there, but I don't. I say you definitely take a position player at 25. So, not a long show tonight, man. I do want to wrap up. It is almost 3. I think it's after 3. What time is it here on the West Coast? Yeah, it's actually 3:30 on the West Coast. So, wrap up, because I have a big show actually tomorrow. I will be doing a Zoom of a show that I'll put out with some guys from Twitter that I'm in a sports talk group with, and we're going to do a Zoom show, and it's going to be the first episode of VJ, the Vesson Network presents Debate This, Debate That, a sports talk show that I've been planning and writing for years, and I finally think I got a group of guys to just do an episode or two with and just see where it goes from there, though. So, sorry, everybody on YouTube that couldn't get in and couldn't watch the show because my audio is jacked up, and I want to appreciate everybody, definitely, that's over here on my IG right now, checking me out, man. VJ's on Sportsmanlike Conduct on Spreaker.com. I will see you guys later this weekend. Also, really quick, shout out to my Tar Heels for doing what they do. Duke, I'm gonna get on in the morning probably or tomorrow afternoon, and I'm gonna just kill and crush Duke. Oh my God, I can't wait. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Coach K, Cameron Indoor. I've been telling people for years that Cameron Indoor. It's a sham. That is a sham program. It always has been a sham program. They are the most overrated. Coach K and Duke basketball are one of the most overrated thing in all of sports in the last 40 years on the globe. They are, oh my God, I can't wait for tomorrow. That's a great tease for you guys. Wait till I got for you guys tomorrow. Corona positive. Oh God. Oh my goodness gracious. And my Tar Heels beating Virginia Tech ass and moving into the semifinals of the ACC tournament. We're going to win tomorrow. I'm going to watch the game. We're going to win tomorrow. We're going to go to the final, and it might be against UVA. We might not get that one because UVA is a really good team. But, hey, that'll definitely move. People had this as a 10. That's going to – Carolina gets to the conference championship game. You definitely got to move Carolina up to like a 4 or a 5, right? They got to be not a 5 because the 5-12 matchups are dangerous in college basketball. 12s always beat 5s. 2 12s always beat 2 5s every year. So even if it's a 6 seed, I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take a 6-13. I'll take a 6-13. I'll take a 6-13. A 6-13 matchup over that 5. I don't want that 5-12. Or was it 6-11? Is 6-11? Right, no, because it's one up and then another one up. So it's 6-13. Listen, VJ's on Sportsmanlike Conduct. I love you guys on Spreaker.com, man. Appreciate you guys. Peace.